Episode number 303. Arrived at the bastion, the four friends turned round. More than 300 soldiers of all kinds were assembled at the gate of the camp, and in a separate group might be distinguished the Busigny, the Dragoon, the Swiss, and the Fourth Better. Athos took off his hat, placed it on the end of his sword, and waved it in the air. All the spectators returned him his salute, accompanying this courtesy with a loud array, which was audible to the four, after which all four disappeared in the bastion, with the Grimaud that preceded them. 47. The Council of the Musketeers. As Athos had foreseen, the bastion was only occupied by a dozen corpses, French and Rochellais. "Gentlemen," said Athos, who had assumed the command of the expedition, while Grimaud spread the table, "let us begin by collecting the guns and cartridges together. We can talk while performing that necessary task. These gentlemen," added he, pointing to the bodies, "cannot hear us." "But we could throw them into the ditch," said Porthos, "after having assured ourselves they have nothing in their pockets." "Yes," said Athos, "that's Grimaud's business." "Well, then," cried D'Artagnan, "pray let Grimaud search them, and throw them over the walls." "Heaven forfend," said Athos, "they may serve us." "These bodies serve us?" said Porthos. "You are mad, dear friend." "Judge not rashly, say the gospel, and the cardinal," replied Athos. "How many guns, gentlemen?" 12, replied Aramis. "How many shots?" 100. "That's quite as many as we shall want. Let us load the guns." The four musketeers went to work, and as they were loading the last musket, Grimaud announced that the breakfast was ready. Athos replied, always by gestures, that was well, and indicated to Grimaud, by pointing to a turret that resembled a pepper caster, that he was to stand as sentinel. Only, to alleviate the tediousness of the duty, Athos allowed him to take a loaf, 2 cutlets, and a bottle of wine. "And now to table," said Athos. The four friends seated themselves on the ground with their legs crossed like Turks, or even tailors. "And now," said D'Artagnan, "as there is no longer any fear of being overheard, I hope you are going to let me into your secret. I hope at the same time to procure you amusement and glory, gentlemen," said Athos. "I have induced you to take a charming promenade. Here is a delicious breakfast, and yonder are 500 persons, as you may see through the loopholes, taking us for heroes or madmen, 2 classes of imbeciles greatly resembling each other." "But the secret," said D'Artagnan. "The secret is," said Athos, "that I saw Milady last night." D'Artagnan was lifting a glass to his lips, but at the name of Milady, his hand trembled so, that he was obliged to put the glass on the ground again for fear of spilling the contents.